I'd like to welcome you back. So, everyone who I speak to about the economy knows how I feel. I feel that something's got to give, and I just want to explain why. See, we have right now a situation that is extremely rare. We have this inflation that's just sort of going berserk, and at the same time, we have people not really making much more money than they were making. So the way I see it is very simple. When I went to college, I have a degree in psychology. So there was a rule, I don't know if it still exists now, but back then you had to take at least one business class. So I took Economics 101. And basically what I took out of that entire semester was one simple concept: supply and demand. When you have more supply than demand, if I have two shirts and only one interested customer, I'm gonna have to lower my price. If I have one shirt and two interested customers, I'm gonna raise my price. Anybody who's in the stock market understands this very simply. This is what makes stocks go up and makes stocks go down. More people want the price goes up. More people wanna get rid of the stock goes down. So if we apply this to what's going on in America right now, it makes no sense, because months ago they were saying that the reason for this inflation was the lack of supply. Now they're saying that there's plenty of supply. But whether there is supply or there isn't supply, the prices keep going up and something doesn't give. Now, I'm not saying things have to snap back to normal, but I'm saying something has to happen. I don't know if we're on the brink of seeing a whole new change in the way America operates. It might become a whole different type of country. I don't know. I really don't know. But I do know that if it stays the country it's been with the rules that applied until now, then things have to go back to normal. I know that we've lived in a world where real estate always goes up. Even when it goes down, it just increasingly goes up. Everyone who knows me knows that I believe that real estate is going to have to at some point readjust to the actual value of the house, if you take all of the parts that it took to build it, plus the value of the land. And then you have a valuation for the property. Meanwhile, you can have a property that's just absurdly overvalued everywhere. It's gotten to the point where if you own a home, you're pretty much a millionaire. And if you don't own a home, like I met this guy yesterday, guy's got a ton of money. I said, why don't you buy a house? He says, I pay rent $5,000 a month in the middle of Queens. I says, why don't you buy a house? He says, because I can't afford one. That is such a great example of what's going on in this country. Yeah, own a home, you're rich. You don't own a home, you're not rich. My point is that if the rules are going to play by the rules they've always played by, then prices have to come down. Either that or we are heading for a whole new style of reality. Because, as I've said many times before, and I've said already in this video, something's got to give. You can't have prices just skyrocketing while the supply is available. It makes no sense. And what's going to make this happen? Good old competition. When one guy says, hold on a second, I know how to get eggs a little bit cheaper. And then the other guy goes, 1 second, that guy's getting it a little cheaper and he's still making a home run. I could make a lot of money and go even cheaper, and then cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Supply and demand. There's so much supply that they're going to be able to sell the eggs so much cheaper. I'm not trying to give a class in Economics 101. All I'm trying to say is that for a long time I've been having this debate with people, and people don't seem to agree with my opinion. And I feel like people are reacting from emotion. They're so freaked out, and they're so like, oh, the government's impossible and everything's impossible. No, there is a system to things. And when you freak out, that's when you lose. This is a great opportunity. As I've been told many times before, you have not had more millionaires being made than in the time of the Great Depression. What does that mean? That means that if you're prepared and you're ready for when it hits the fan, then you can do really, really well for yourself. So that's just my 2 cents on the subject. Wish you all a beautiful evening. Thank you very much. Please remember to like, and please, I'd really appreciate the subscriptions.